Hello, Betty Croswick here. As the title of this post is, Yay, let's stick it to Putin, I would actually like to know how many people out there in common folk land, like most of us are how they are enjoying sticking it to Putin. Um, when they fill up their gas tank, are people feeling a little bounce of joy at, at thinking to themselves, or even saying out loud, "Yay, we're sticking it to Putin"? Or when they go to the checkout counter in the grocery store and are more than a little shocked at the total of their purchases. Well, they may not have been all of that lavish to warrant such a price hike. If they feel very happy and vindicated that these higher prices are sticking it to Putin, or that the cost of kids' necessities and such as clothes and nourishing food and people struggling with the enormous rates of inflation that is approaching hyperinflation, but actually hyperinflation where it changes, the prices change by the minute, and you don't have time to even get home with what you've got before it's they've gone up more. So I just would like to know how the average person is coping with this, and are they being comforted by the idea that these higher prices mean they are sticking it to Putin? I think it was this comedian that has been bought and sold by the Biden administration. I think it was Bill Maher who came up with this stupid phrase that, well, yes, let's stick it to Putin. He didn't mind paying the extra dollars, knowing that these extra dollars meant that they were sticking it to Putin, which, of course, he didn't mind because he's part of the swamp. It's his job to make everything seem fine and make you feel good about you may not quite have the things you need for your children or for yourself to maintain good health and a good mental stability, that really, you should be willing to sacrifice here. Now, I think that if the people who are asking the ordinary person to sacrifice in order to harm Russia and Putin, that if they were told that primarily it's going to be harming the common person, well, the elites, they don't care about that. They don't care about the common person. But if they thought that somehow it would come back and bite them, that they would have to pay more, maybe lots more, for sticking it to Putin, well, they wouldn't have been so anxious to show their enormous willingness to sacrifice in order to stick it to Putin, because this is what it's going to amount to. This war in Ukraine is certainly adding to the ongoing and ever-increasing problems with trucking. Of course, truckers are to blame for this, and not the fact that they've put the United States and NATO, they've all, and the European Union, they put so many tariffs on Russia and on China that the things are just not coming the way they used to, because Russia right now has said they're not going to be exporting any of their goods that are vital to the health and welfare of the Russian people. And China is the same way. They have been telling their people that there is going to be shortages of things, and that even in China, where they make all the things, they should think about buying things now that may be short in the future, including food. And, we don't hear much about the government telling people how to maybe protect themselves in any way against food shortages. It's every person for themselves. Even when there are massive holdups in the shipping lanes, in the ability to for even China to get food out to other countries because of the all of the business that's taken place in Shanghai, and how the world is in a friggin' mess with shipping goods and with the trading with different countries. And it stems, in my opinion, from all of these tariffs on Russia, which causes Russia thinking that this is going to make Russia fall, and then the NATO and the U.S. can go in and get all of their goodies, all their oil and natural gas. Well, they just have a whole lot of goodies in Russia that NATO and the U.S. and the European Union would just love to have. And they want to try to regime change, to get rid of Putin, to make the people so angry at Putin due to shortages that they will dispose him, and then the United States can and the European Union and all these Western countries can go in like the thieves that they are when they take over foreign countries and steal their goodies. But Russia is a different class, and China, they're in different classifications. They're fully developed countries with weapons, and they are not going to take to this business easily of trying to dispose their leaders. I guarantee you there's going to be a real struggle. And why the European Union, the United States, Canada, the five, so to speak, are all so anxious that this struggle be carried on and broaden into a bigger war. The neocons and the Pentagon and the European big wigs, they want this war to expand and extend, and that is the danger of it. And in the meantime, not only do we have this constant danger of a broadening war, but we have diminishing ways of producing in our own country. We don't have unlimited amounts of natural gas or oil, or the Biden administration and the Trudeau administration have cut out all of the mechanisms that produce oil and natural gas from both the United States and from Canada. And what kind of thinking is this, that are non-thinking, that the European countries, along with the United States and Canada, would get into a big hassle with Russia that could lead to a world war, which nobody is going to win, over with the major producer of electrical energy, which is Russia, and call them out, call them all kinds of names, say they're barbarians. The hatred for Russia is so fierce now, and Canada and the United States and European Union, that they are the biggest awful demons on earth that the earth ever produced, which is stupid, because what it has done, it has tipped over the economic system of all of our countries, because the ruble has not crashed. It's up higher than it was before the invasion of Ukraine, and this war is bleeding every country on the earth as I speak, because it's increasing inflation and scarcity of goods. It's promoting fear of the future, fear of the lack of food. People are becoming hoarders. We are worried about the ability to even buy food. And on top of it, there are things happening. Well, it's coming from the U.S. now, but I'm certain that it will also occur in Canada, where there is shortages of baby formula, where mothers can't buy, mothers and fathers, they score the stores for trying to find baby formula for their babies. It's just too crazy. And then Fossey comes, and he, in a kind of a smug way, says, oh, we can't be sure that there's not going to be another pandemic down the road. He wants to be able to extend the sale of vaccines, but only to countries who can afford to pay for the vaccines. They don't give any to Africa or some of these other nations who haven't the money to pay. They don't give a damn whether they all die of COVID or whatever. For them, it's a money business. I've thought this from the first, and I believe it's still to be true. And so Dr. Fossey, he adds his little stick to the fire and says, oh, well, we could have another pandemic anytime, and we've got to be prepared. We've got to get all of these things going so that we can control you better during the next pandemic. We made mistakes this time. They don't want any more mistakes. They want perfect control, like China's fighting for now in Shanghai. You know, you got to be able to control people if you're going to control the economy and if you're going to control the world. And people have got to get used to obeying these orders and these rules. And they've got to learn to appreciate new things coming from the Trudeau government, like the truth program, where they're trying to pass a law that where disinformation would be akin to treason, and who decides what is this information? Well, they do, of course, and it will be anybody who objects to the Trudeau government's dictates. Well, enough for today. Thank you. Next time. Okay. Bye.